Imagine a place where the American dream has been replaced by a nightmare that never ends, where daylight reveals hundreds of bodies leaning against walls and nightfall turns the streets into an open-air drug market. This isn't a scene from a dystopian movie. It's Philadelphia. And right in its heart lies Kensington Avenue, a street so infamous that even the police call it the ground zero of America's addiction crisis. Here, fentanyl is cheaper than food. Overdoses happen in broad daylight, and life expectancy has collapsed to levels you'd expect in war zones. But what if I told you this didn't happen by accident? What if this chaos was built block by block to serve a purpose? Today, we're stepping inside America's most disturbing street, the one the government pretends doesn't exist. Philadelphia, one of the oldest, most historic cities in America. The birthplace of independence, home to Benjamin Franklin, once the symbol of opportunity. But just 5 miles north of the Liberty Bell, reality flips upside down. The shining skyline gives way to collapsing row houses, broken sidewalks, and trash piled high like barricades. Kensington Avenue is the epicenter of what locals call the open-air pharmacy. Here, addicts shoot up in front of children, deals happen on every corner, and bodies lie unconscious while pedestrians step over them. The numbers are staggering. Over 1,400 overdose deaths every year, and one of the highest concentrations of fentanyl users in the country. If Los Angeles has Skid Row, Philadelphia has Kensington. But here, the destruction isn't hidden. It's on display every single day. Kensington wasn't always like this. In the early 1900s, it was the beating heart of Philadelphia's working class, home to mills, factories, and immigrant families chasing stability. But when industries left in the 1970s, jobs vanished and poverty rushed in. As unemployment rose, crime followed. Then came heroin.
Stuff. This is when you see the size of this block. I mean, just individual just.
By the 1990s, Kensington had become the main distribution point for narcotics on the East Coast. Dealers realized something chilling. Addicts would travel from all over the country just to buy here. The area turned into a destination of misery, an economy built on suffering. And when fentanyl replaced heroin, it didn't just worsen the crisis, it redefined it. One hit could kill instantly, but that didn't stop the demand. It increased it. The city's response? Containment. Instead of cleaning it up, officials quietly allowed it to function. An unspoken strategy: keep the crisis in one place so it doesn't spread. The result? Kensington became a landfill of human lives, controlled chaos disguised as compassion. Walking down Kensington Avenue today feels like crossing into another dimension. You see the economy of addiction working in real time. Dealers move with surgical precision. Addicts drift like ghosts. EMTs kneel on sidewalks administering Narcan while commuters step around them. Every telephone pole is covered in missing person flyers. Every alley reeks of chemicals, blood, and hopelessness. Many of the people here aren't even from Philadelphia. They come from New York, New Jersey, even Texas, chasing the next high. Some end up trapped for years, forgotten by families, nameless to the city that tolerates their suffering. The scariest part? Police rarely intervene. They patrol, they watch, but they don't act. Because arrests don't fix addiction, they just move it elsewhere. So Kensington exists as a self-contained purgatory, a place where laws are written on paper but not enforced, and mercy has long expired. At night, fires burn in trash cans. Shadows move between abandoned buildings. It isn't just a neighborhood anymore. It's a graveyard that still breathes. But behind every collapse, there's a system that benefits. Kensington is no exception. For years, nonprofits and government agencies have received hundreds of millions of dollars in rehabilitation funding. Yet when journalists ask where the money goes, the answer is always the same: administration costs. Offices, salaries, endless paperwork. Meanwhile, the streets rot worse every year. Pharmaceutical companies made billions selling the opioids that sparked this epidemic. Now, those same companies profit from the treatment drugs. The government finds them, sure, but allows them to keep selling. It's a loop of profit and pain that never ends. And Kensington is proof that human misery can be monetized. Some call it negligence, others call it design. Because if addiction is a business, Kensington is the headquarters. And what happens in Kensington doesn't stay in Kensington. The fentanyl produced and sold here travels everywhere, to small towns in Ohio, to suburbs in New Jersey, to high schools in California. The cost isn't only human. Hospitals collapse under the weight, ERs overflow, morgues run out of space. Tourists who stumble into the area describe it as a zombie apocalypse. But for those who live here, it's not a movie. It's home. And every so-called cleanup only pushes people deeper into the shadows, never out of the cycle. This isn't a local crisis. It's a reflection of America itself, a nation that spends more on prisons than prevention, more on punishment than on healing. Kensington is the symptom. The disease is everywhere. From above, Kensington looks like any other neighborhood: row houses, long streets, traffic lights. But on the ground, it's something else entirely. A mirror showing what happens when a country built on dreams decides some lives don't matter. Every addict here was once a child with a future. Every collapsed body is a story of policy failure, corporate greed, and social abandonment. Politicians promise change, but the truth is, Kensington works exactly as intended. It keeps the suffering visible, but contained. It eases the conscience of the powerful while destroying the powerless. So the next time someone says America doesn't have concentration camps, show them Kensington Avenue, because this is what one looks like in the 21st century. And that brings us to the end of this episode. If what you've heard shocked you, hit the like button and share it. The world needs to see what's happening in its own backyard. Subscribe to Inside America's Darkest Streets for more stories others are too afraid to tell. Until next time, stay aware, stay human, and don't look away.